is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnist write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Darren Lee there to get him down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
But certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
Now let's go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a nice spin into some open field. A very good return that time. 18 yards. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Throwing on 1st down. Fields It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Back to throw. Fields. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Back to throw now in his own end zone. His throw incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 from Minnesota. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Set. Green 39.
Now it's Breedham. A second nice move, a spin. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Pass incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. And out now come the Vikings. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff looking right. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Third down. It's Henderson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front. The linebackers, everyone got involved to force a fourth down.
Here's Matt Wild now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Returning here is Wright. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct.
And now look at him go. 30, 10, touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 83 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Partner, you know the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches a football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable.
Here we go.
Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
On 1st and 10, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This is Breida. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The L on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Looking to throw. Fields firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now it's Peterson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Green 39.
Operating from the gun, Fields. Steps away to his left. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. They run with Breida. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On play action, they'll throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Henry's got it out on the left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Here we go.
Here's Breida. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Oh, what a move. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 46 yards.
Green, 39.
On first down, Fields. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
Throwing on first down, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
From the gun, Fields. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Fields. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Green, 39.
Operating from the gun, Fields. This will be caught at about the 6. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throw left side complete. That's Henry. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Let's go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Henry. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Throw left side complete. That's Henry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and it's the Bears who have the lead. The Bears trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. A touchdown run there for Leonard Fournette. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Check on the Patriots. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd and 2, Fields is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Fields. Now he'll escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, Fields. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, first and 15. Off the play fake, Fields. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10, and they'll go on the ground. And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. So Darius Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go now.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. On the return is Peterson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Now the ball comes loose, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
Now let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here we go now.
Throwing on first down. Fields firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the ball is knocked out, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched?
Here we go now. Green 39.
He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That goes for a gain of 31. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Henry. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throw left side taken in by Galladay. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can. But if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol.
3-19.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Extra point attempt here still to come. No problem there on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Fields. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Dances by him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
Now let's go.
to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I just wrote you up.
Green 39!
Green.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Now let's go! 319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now he's flushed out right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39, green.
On 1st and 10, Fields. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all.
First
Now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
From the gun, Fields. Left side caught by Diggs. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Henderson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
They'll set up to throw, and that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, Fields finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. Flushed out right. Nifty footwork at the 45. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now let's go.
And they'll run it here. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick,
Now
tick.
let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Set. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here come the Lions now. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. So that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
They'll look to throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
Here we go now. Green.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. to throw. Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Here we go now. Green.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it, because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Matt Wild now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Now it's right. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few 1st downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. get the ball in their hands. Critical situation. Now's their time.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And now running right through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and we will play on here in overtime. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
And now out comes Minnesota. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let a team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Gotta be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sean Robinson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Now let's go. Blue Niners.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. complete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Drama, drama, drama. We saw all of it in this one. Overtime, all the way to the end of OT. The long field goal shot to win it, but they couldn't convert.
And because it's the regular season, we don't play more bonus football. We don't go to another period. It ended right there. You get one in overtime to get it done. Look, let's face it. That field goal attempt was a long shot to begin with. No pun intended, or maybe pun intended. But it doesn't go through, and it ends in a tie.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.